Hello everybody, welcome back to Our Hero. My name is Jen and I make videos about the law. And today I'm talking about, is it possible to be too good at your job? Now, the reason I bring this up is because I've read a very good article on it recently, but also I have actually noticed the trend that if you're too productive and if you're too, we'll say, confident, you become that nail that gets hammered down, because ultimately there needs to be, like a median way of assessing people. And if one person is outperforming and then of course their salary isn't reflective of their performance, then things can become fairly messy. And so a manager may try and manage that person out of their performance, or they may try other ways to lead them towards something else or almost distract them from their goal. So it's important to be very aware of how good you are, have a good kind of relationship with reality, but also realize when your manager is actually kind of deterred, or what's the word, wary of your productivity. I myself have managed people. I have managed very productive people, and how I handle it is I will say to them, you are too good at your job. You need to go away and do some personal stuff, because I get afraid that they're going to get burnt out if they keep up that level of productivity, because I know they're putting in a lot of effort, because I know the effort that goes into what they're doing. So what I try and do is say, hey, you're doing a good job, and by the way, this is not going to dissuade a motivated happy worker. If someone is overproducing, I would tell them focus on those areas. For example, if you haven't done so, get your driving test, do some personal development, because ultimately they should have time for themselves as well. And if this person is extremely conscientious and they're very work driven, you might just say to them, I really appreciate everything you're doing, but maybe focus a little bit more on your public speaking skills or this or that, soft skills, and try and develop those, because you won't always be doing this type of work. You want to be able to pivot eventually, and that should be encouraged, I think. But they definitely should be lauded and applauded for their productivity. One of the other downsides of being productive and being a strong worker is that you may get less support from colleagues. For example, if you win an award, if you're seen as somebody who's like a bit of a leader, it may not be what it's cracked up to be. So I'm just want you to be aware of that in that you may not be the person that people help out as readily, and I just want you to be aware of that. And so that's important that you ask for help, especially when you need it. Obviously, some of the pros is that you become credible, reliable, and also in a competitive job environment, you'll be able to demand a higher salary, demand better terms, and kind of propel yourself in the direction you want to go to, provided that you're a good communicator. And again, just to add to some more of the cons is that if you're too good at your job, a lot of the time, but not always, it kind of means that you're heavily emotionally invested in what you're doing, as in it breaks your heart. You're married to the job, all that kind of jargon. It's probably not easy for you to switch off, and believe me, I've been there, so I know what that's like. It also means that people might load more stuff on you because they think you're well able for it, or they may see you as a bit of a workhorse and somebody you can just offset the work on. And the other important thing is that your work-life balance is probably compromised because you don't know how to set boundaries. So yeah, look, this was just a 5-minute video, just kind of seeing from the alternative view what happens if you are too good at your job, because that does actually happen. And of course, when you're very good at your job, there's also self-doubt. So that's something else you have to bear in mind. I'll see you in the next one.